So may or may not be on Facebook. Let's see.
Nope, it just came on YouTube.
I must have the funniest recordings because like I'm always setting it up like this, and I'm like, is this working? Let's see what's happening over here. YouTube. I must have the funniest recordings because like I'm always setting it up like this, and I'm like, is this working? There's me. So mute that. That's so fun. Okay, so it says view event. Oh, so it is there. There it is. I must have the funniest. Yep, there it is. Like it's on. Setting it up like this. What in the world? There's me. So mute. There it goes. Okay, that's how I stop it. This is fun. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so now I'm going to go begin. Aloha. Welcome to Wisdom Dialogues with Hope Johnson. Coming to you from Hawaiian beaches on the beautiful big island of Hawaii. Yay. So grateful. Thank you for joining. So a friend asked me yesterday whether or not it's good to do tarot cards, like draw a tarot card, you know. And it's like questions like that are just making it as if you're a doer, like if it matters what you do. And they come from an idea that you are doing something here. And in that idea, the whole reason that idea is projected is to give you a reason to feel guilty, give you reasons to feel guilty. See, it projects itself, it projects, the mind is projecting itself as if it's imperfect, as if you're imperfect. It's not, there's no truth to it. It's just projecting like that to give you justification for that feeling of guilt. That's really, the feeling of guilt is from the thought that you separated yourself from reality, and you really didn't anyways. So all of those feelings that come up and the thoughts that are trying to justify the feeling are not true. You can say, if you have a feeling that's upset, then whatever you're thinking right now is definitely not true or relevant or even meaningful. It's nothing. The projection of darkness, projection of ignorance in the mind. You can say evil. You can say that's what's known as evil in, like, you know, speaking in biblical terms, that's what's really known as ego, as evil or ego. Same thing. It's thoughts that deny the truth of who you are. So even in a question, you could be denying the truth of who you are. But you know, my friend, he totally got it. I saw it. I saw it on his face. He totally got it. It was like, you know, it does not make any difference if you do the tarot or you go to church or you meditate or you don't meditate. It does not going to make a difference. Not anything in not in any tangible way. You can say, meditating because of the purpose, because of that willingness and purpose of meditating, you know, it's gonna it's gonna lead to where you want to go just over a really long period of time. Okay. You know, it can go way faster than that. It could go way faster than that just by willingness to recognize that you are not capable of doing anything here, including meditation. And in fact, all of it's meaningless. It's just like part of a play. Okay.
So what about that getting the feeling effect? Isn't that on the surface level too?
Definitely. Definitely. And then look at what's going on there. I like to talk about how the body is like an instrument. So even getting the feeling effect, it is done for you. It's only just willingness on your part, you know.
The heat. I heard you talk about last week's about how the heat. That's what's happening all the time here.
Okay.
All of a sudden, it's just a flash, and it's like, whoa, what?
Yeah. Yeah. You're noticing the sensations.
Totally.
So they become more apparent to you. It's like it's like you lift some veils is one way of saying it, or remove some blocks is another way of
Well,
saying it.
there's been a lot of blocks being removed, apparently.
Yeah. But do you notice that the fear of the feeling is kind of like a thin layer, and you get beneath it, and it's so good. It's so exciting.
I haven't got to the exciting yet, but
Oh, you will. This is so fun.
because I get seeing, I'm trying to figure out what is making I was thinking it was thoughts, but I don't think so. I think it's just coming on all by itself. And then thoughts might come.
Yeah, you don't have to even evaluate it at all.
Yeah.
You don't even have to
Just feel it.
evaluate it at all. Cuz see, when once you get the feeling and you feel that, and then you start to evaluate, you like lose your presence with that feeling. See what I mean?
Because you're going here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So the doing that you can do is basically offer willingness.
Right.
You know, is basically offer willingness, because in doing that, like just your willingness, like just in remembering about the feeling, look at how much willingness it takes in the moment.
Mm.
It's like there's just and you know, it's like your little bit, it takes just a tiniest bit of willingness, even if you don't see yourself, even though you know, don't have the perception of yourself actually, you know, knowing how you feel and getting that, and really getting that feeling. But you see, you're showing that you're willing to get the feeling, so now you're just getting the feeling. You're like, I don't even see why I'm getting the feeling. And yeah, I could say I went through a period like that for sure. I would just be standing there and it feel like it hit me.
Yes. It's like it,
Yeah.
boom, and then whoosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're starting to get the fluctuations, like what the fluctuations are like. Aloha, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you who are joining on Facebook as well. Thank you so much. And YouTube. Thanks, everyone. So it's like losing your presence with the moment, you can say, when you take into consideration anything about the body being real, let's
Mm.
say. or meaningful in a way, like it's your life. You're not vulnerable to anything. You're not vulnerable to anything in the world, but your thinking that you are makes it so in your perception only. So then that's within your power to undo, because you have a perception. Anything that feels bad, anything that feels wrong, anything that feels like it's harming you, anything that feels like it's harming you, you feel like it just, you know, you don't have to agree with it,
Right.
basically. You just don't have to agree with it because thoughts are just offerings. Like it's not necessary for you to agree with anything.
That's such a relief.
I know. Isn't that nice? Your shoulders can just relax.
Right.
Ah, feel so
And you can
comfortable.
breathe all the way down there.
You can breathe down to your cooch. That's right. That's right. You know, you could just look at that and notice if you're holding tension where you can't get a deep breath, you don't feel it, just a natural deep breath. I'm not saying like like, just like a naturally just get a deep breath, then you're holding something that's totally untrue about you. You're believing in something right now that's totally untrue about you, and when you pay attention to that and notice the effects of believing in that, see? That's why I look at the feeling. It's like if you have an upset feeling, that's the effect of how you're thinking. So then you see what you're thinking, what you're thinking is doing to you, and you're like, "Oh, fuck that. I don't want to think that anymore."
Mm.
Or at least I don't want it, but it's in a playful way. It's like I don't have to because I don't have to agree with it.
Mhm.
It's not like, "Get that thing out of here," you know?
Mm. It's not true.
Yeah. See, the only thoughts that are meaningful are the thoughts of love. All other thoughts are not meaningful at all. They don't do anything. You could say they live in the past. They live in the past. And the ego will use the past to kind of fill the space up so you can't be present with what's here right now.
Right.
See? The ego will fill the space up with all kinds of past thoughts, past hurts, past meanness.
Yep. Oh, yeah. It holds
Yeah.
on to that kind of stuff.
Yeah. The mind wants to hold on to that kind of stuff because it seems like it's safe there. It's safe in that stuff. The ego tells you that that's where your safety is.
Mm.
And it's not where your safety is,
That seems
because the past doesn't exist. It is not here. It is not here. And anything you had a perception of in the past was a perception of the darkness, the ignorance in your own mind. Anything that was mean or unloving or bad or wrong or anything like that. It's just, it's a projection of your own ignorance. So it's like, you don't need that now. You don't need that.
mm,
It's not going to help you out now.
that's for sure.
Just watch any uncomfortable feelings, like even if you're feeling uncomfortable about your friends, like you feel like, "Oh, I wonder if she's mad at me because of this." You know what? That is just like completely and totally fantasy.
Yep.
Let the fantasy go. Maybe she is, and maybe she isn't from her perspective. It's just like not, it's not something that can help you by thinking about. In fact, it can only hinder you.
Mm.
It can only hinder you because it keeps you full of this information, meaningless information, and you're not able to have a clear perception of what's here now. You're not able to have a clear perception of who's available and what's available and what energy you're playing with now. So the ego will bring in the past to justify feeling like you're feeling in the present, but in the present, there's nothing but love. You know when you're present to what is, when you're aware that there's nothing but love.
And it feels good.
And it feels good. You're stoked. Even if you're sick in bed, even if you find yourself sick in bed, you're stoked.
Mm.
Even if you find yourself at the hospital. I had one instance, I don't know when it was, maybe like a year or something, where I fainted at the movie theater.
Movies, I
You remember that?
remember.
I was on the cold floor at the movie theater, and it was just so much fun. And then I went to the hospital. I got on a gurney and I went to the hospital, and it was so much fun. It's like everything that arises occurs for you. It's like can be fun because you're there and that's who you are.
Mm. They never did find anything, huh?
What's that?
They never did find anything wrong with you.
No, there was nothing wrong with me. It was just there was just a pattern playing out. There was just a pattern playing out. It's like, oh wow, now you are really, you got to look into your health and stuff like that, and that kind of voice. And I was just like laughed my ass off. I'm like, nothing happened. Oh no, now you gotta like stop drinking caffeine, stop
Mm.
smoking spliffs, stop eating chocolate. But all those things that I had a perception of myself doing was projected from the same mind.
Mm.
I don't have any control over that. I have no control over that. And neither does anyone else. And see, that's the thing. I know that everyone else who occurs to me is also does not have control of themselves. In fact, they're all projected from my mind the way I perceive them. They're real in reality, but the way I perceive people, it's not real. Aloha. Ah, nice to see you. Thank you for coming. Someone's working on the sink or something. What was I saying?
Somebody will type it. Somebody type
It's all
it.
good. It's all good. Intense here too. Yeah. Good. Love that. Love the intensity because the intensity is what brings you deeper. And you'll see that, like I said, and I like to repeat this so people know this is going on. It's intense for a time, but then you are able to see that the intensity is a thin layer, and beneath that is pure excitement.
Mm.
Yay.
Yay, I'm
That's
ready
the
for
thing.
the excitement.
Yes. And in excitement, there's no attachment to outcomes because attachment to outcomes keeps you in that layer of intensity.
Oh, yeah.
See? So you're going to learn this automatically.
Yeah.
You're going to learn this automatically. I mean, even coming to wisdom dialogues or watching or listening later or whatever, you know, even that is part of it. It's just unwinding for you. It unravels for you. And it's not up to you whether you even come. You just arrive to that. The more I give in, the faster it dissipates. Nice. That's a very good way to put it. Thank you, Lori K. So it's like this. The spirit uses your body as an instrument. Okay? It's like, and it's not really your body because your body doesn't exist. When I say your body, I'm talking about a body sense. There's a sense of a body. The mind is getting a sense of the body. I think the sweating bullets helps my skin look younger. Yeah, it's true. It's true. It does. You know why? Because it's the mind relaxing, and the body is projection. So, you know, if you're fighting against it, if you're fighting against the intensity and you're not getting the relaxation, it's like, you know, you're getting the opposite of a beauty treatment. You're getting all tore back. It's true. Kai Molino, yay. Thank you for joining. Kai Molino comes to in person too very often. I love to see him. He's so funny, so colorful. He goes to ecstatic dance and he dances awesome and he dresses like all different ways that are really fun. Mohawks. Sometimes it's a mohawk. He does some wild stuff.
Nice. Did you post it yesterday's?
No, but I will very soon.
Okay.
Thank you for asking.
I looked for it this afternoon.
Oh, you did? How cute. Thank you for looking. You can put notifications on too, so you just get notified.
Oh.
No, I don't know how to do it, but you know, you can figure it out. I'm gonna have Yulia come on now. Unless you have something right now, Lori, do you?
No, I just wanted to tell you that I'm going back through your book again. Wow.
Yeah.
It seems different. I have different. Pretty soon, the whole damn book's going to be highlighted because I highlighted other stuff before, and now I'm highlighting different stuff.
Yeah. You guys, if you don't have my book, get my book because it's freaking awesome. I hear that from people. I'm not like trying to toot my own horn. No, this is what I hear from people. You know, and one of my friends said it's the perfect book for people who don't like to read books. Okay. Super freaking fun. You do not have to be a parent. The book is called Unschooling for Parents. It's on my website, hopejohnson.org. You do not need to be a parent to have a kick-ass time with the book.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time for peeps that like wisdom dialogues, people that are interested in unschooling. Kai Molino says, absolutely. Yay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I haven't heard one person say, wow, that book really sucked. But that would be fun too, and I welcome it. All right. Yulia's coming. Thank you so much, Lori.
Mm-hmm. You made it.
Am I visible? I think I'm visible, but I'm in total darkness.
You're in the darkness. Yes, you are.
It's because I'm sitting outside.
Put a flashlight on your face.
You know what? I'll do that. It'll probably look creepy.
It'll look
My,
cool.
my new private space is out.
Oh, this is cool.
It's blinding
There
me.
she is. You don't have to do it. You can just
I
do
can do
voice.
this. Oh no, that's okay. I can do that. Oh.
Awesome. Yay.
Finally, I'm here.
Oh, it's fun to see you and hear
I
you.
do watch you all the time. And I had a chat with Lori today.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so great. I'll probably chat with her again soon.
Oh, you guys are awesome. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, we're the Hope Johnson fan club.
Oh, thank you. You guys are so cool. I'm glad you're having conversation together. That is so helpful.
Yeah, it really helps to have someone who is really on the same wavelengths.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
right. Like, you can't really talk like that to most people.
But you will be talking to more and more people as your mind awakens, let's say.
Yeah, I do funny
As
things.
that occurs. Go ahead.
I mentioned to Lori today, my boyfriend is used to this by now. He says something, we talk about the future, and then I go like, yeah, as if there is a future. He goes, and I tell him going, you know what I mean? He goes, yeah, I know. I'm used to it now.
I'm used to it now. Good. And then people come along too. People come along.
Make these comments because like I make it for myself. I just remind myself, wait, don't start believing there's a future.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah. And people can't help but come along because people are all in your perception. That means that you're not seeing them as they are. Myself included. I'm not seeing them as they are. You're seeing them as a perception, and it's a misperception because it's based on the thought of separation. So you're not seeing them as they are in their divine way. Anything that you see that bothers you about them or anything like that, that's coming from you. Even if they come up to you and they're in pain or they're suffering in some way, that's also coming from you. And in recognizing that it is coming from you, you see how you can receive the blessing. You could say like the blessing of the Holy Spirit, God's love. You can receive God's love for having that perception, healing for the perception of them. So you do not blame them. Just because it's not reasonable. You're not trying to be a good person, but you can just see it's not reasonable to blame a person for what you've made of them. It's kind of like you taught them to act like that in your perception because you taught yourself these things, and then that they're occurring to you. So in taking that kind of responsibility, it's like no one else has any power to be anything that you are capable of judging. You're not even capable of judging them because it's not like that. It's not really judge worthy like that.
Wow.
They can't be any other
Just
way.
think you needed to hear that again and again.
That's why I say it again and again. And it's fun every single time. I love it.
I just had an experience where somebody that I was so sorry for and so worried about and seeing them so much as in pain or in trouble. And now I see them as a villain. And and I got to remember that that's not true either. But
exactly.
I did a little bit of like Byron Katie work on feeling sorry for them. And then like, I realized as I was doing that, oh my God, I am feeling sorry for myself.
Yeah, isn't that fun?
And making them to be that,
Yeah, isn't that so cool?
So now I got to see how it is that I'm doing this villain thing now.
Nice.
Right.
It doesn't, and it doesn't matter because it's all the same. It's all really the same.
Yeah.
It's like making anything out to be
other.
Other, something that can be guilty. And look, the whole illusion is built on guilt. It's so that you can project this guilty feeling. It's like the guilty feeling is buried in all these different things, people, places, things.
Money. I mean,
Oh
that
yeah.
to come up. You know, with the coronavirus, all of my work is canceled, and I'm like, oh my God.
What fun.
I know I keep
Well, that means you don't
that,
have
but
anything going
it's
on.
not going away. Well, I got very little, but none of the things that's really sustained me. So I'm
Oh, so let's see what happens
my
next.
savings,
This is
right?
fun.
Let's see. And I don't know what's going to happen because everything I think is just going to stay canceled for a while and suspended. Everything.
Well,
that,
you're basically you're supported by the grace of God,
right.
which is basically in your mind, you know, and it's as much as you're willing to see that. All these kinds of instances are giving you an opportunity to see that. The
What if-
feelings that you get, like this scarcity feeling, it's just a reflection. When you make it about money, it's not about money at all. It's just reflection. It's just a reflection of feeling like you're not enough. See?
What if that feeling is just not letting go with all my intellectual understanding of how this is bullshit and I'm supported by the grace of God? The feeling just won't go away.
That all this is bullshit?
No, that just the bad feeling about it. The fear, it's almost like a sense of not having inspiration, like feeling restricted, you know?
Yeah.
You know,
I
like,
know that feeling.
no, that's an opportunity. I should see something interesting and fun to do, but it's like hanging on me like a stone, you know?
What's hanging on you like a stone?
That feeling that I need money and that it's not happening and that I don't know what's going to happen with my work, that kind of thing. And I can't buy this and I can't do this, and you know, everything has to be postponed. I have to sit there and wonder what's going to happen, or maybe I should get inspired and do something, but nothing is inspiring.
Well, you just want those thoughts more than the truth. So, just be aware of that.
Ay.
You want those thoughts more than the truth right
It's
now.
just so not fun. Why do I want those thoughts?
You're choosing them from moment to moment. So you tell me. You're holding those thoughts up like idols for yourself in the moment.
I don't even literally think that. It's just like an overall background feeling, you know? Maybe I need to dig and find what I'm thinking.
You don't need to do anything about it though.
Right.
Really. Like that, like digging. It's really more of a willingness. It is really more of a willingness,
I know what it is. It's like a feeling of powerlessness, you know? Like, I don't know, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, and that powerlessness is also a thought.
Yes.
It's like as if you're gonna get power right now when the present moment is all that's available to you, as if you're gonna get some power right now by upholding a feeling, by using a thought to uphold a feeling.
Yeah, the funny thing was when everything was going great, and it was really great. Everybody was telling me, "Oh, you're doing so great. You're so great. You're so wonderful." And I always said, like, I'm not really doing anything, because I literally saw how all of that was happening to me.
Mm-hmm.
How it literally found me. All the things that were a success literally found me, and what I do is literally the only thing I know how to do and to make money. It just kind of happens on its own, apparently, to make money. So it's like, I never really bought this. You're so great. But it's
right.
But I always knew, like, if it just stops coming, then it'll stop coming. There's
Yeah.
no way I can't do anything.
Yeah. But if you're willing to give up the thoughts, See, it's like you're getting the feeling, you're getting a feeling, and then you're going, why am I getting this feeling so long? That's resistance. That resistance is what needs to be seen.
Right. That I remember too. That like if I'm like don't want it to go away, that's that's what that's
That's
the
trying to escape.
outcome, right?
Yeah, that's trying to escape it. And you can't escape it, but you could use it to escape the illusion. And you will. You will. That's what it's all leading to. It's just a dream of self that's leading to the end of dreaming. And you'll
Do you
be,
always feel do you always feel light and inspired, or do you sometimes feel heavy and like the general feeling like no inspiration, no
well, when I feel heavy, I notice that I feel heavy, and I know that I'm getting something wrong. I know that my mind needs correction.
So do you go looking for what it is that you are thinking wrong?
Nope, I don't do anything. I just know that my mind needs correction. That's it. You know, the ego is very strong in that and very arrogant in that. That
Yeah.
the mind doesn't need correction. That you know what's going on.
Or it finds this new thing where like I know I'm wrong, but I can't. Something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I can't let this go. Yeah.
I can't. No, I can't see. I can't feel. I can't. It's not happening, or something like that. You know.
Yeah. Well, you can ask for a correction. Just stay in the question. You might find yourself you might find yourself in something like that over a period of time, and if you stay in the question, the let me see, you stay in the question, then the answer is going to be given to you. It's just that you ask the question and then you go looking for your own solutions again. So it's staying in the question. Don't go looking for your own solutions. Let the magic of the world occur to you as it does anyways, with an openness. And a willingness to see that whatever does occur to you is a benefit to you. Everything that occurs to you is a benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's another one that I remember. You can have peace instead of this, and everything is a benefit. I was trying to remember what was another one that was really good.
You're never upset for the reason you think. That is my freaking favorite.
Oh yeah, that's great. Hope we need T-shirts with graphics and Hope Johnson mantras.
Well, all those are Course in Miracles.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea all of those.
I'm pretty sure. Say them again. What were they?
You can have peace instead of this.
That is a Course in Miracles lesson.
Everything is a benefit.
Oh, that's hope. Yeah. I think.
There we go. What about you're never upset for the reason you think you are?
That is a Course in Miracles, one of the workbook lessons.
Oh, I see. I
For the
see.
reason you think, and you take a day to practice that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's like for me, I've done a Course in Miracles lessons, I don't know how many times, and sometimes I'll just jump in there and do a couple, and then other times I'll find myself just like, oh yeah, that's a fun thought for the day, and then that's the thought. It's like I could have peace instead of this. It's one of my favorite go-tos. I'm never upset for the reason I think, and I apply it to everything, including just like mild frustration, anything, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like not that anyone needs to do that, because everyone has their own sort of medicine in this regard, like what's going to be the thing for you. But it's like, you know, you don't have to get any kind of program or schedule or anything. That's the thing that denies who you are actually. Okay? That's like an ego trap. You don't have to get on some kind of schedule that says you have to do something or anything like that. Let it be fun. Let it your spiritual practice be more like an embrace, you know, something that you really appreciate.
Yeah,
Whatever it
that
is.
I noticed that. I noticed that for a long time. You know, whenever you make a spiritual practice something important, it's a failure.
It's a failure. Exactly.
Yes, right.
Because it's not of itself, it's not going to do anything. I mean, it comes down to your willingness. And it just so
Strengthening.
happens that those phrases and A Course in Miracles in general is like my medicine. You know, you can say like my mind's medicine. It's what resonates for me. And I have had a really really
Oh,
profound series of
say it.
experiences
Mhm.
that show me that it is shortening time, that show me because I can relax more and more and more in whatever it is, you know.
It's interesting. I did do something. I started doing something. It's sort of early at the beginning of this year. More or less regularly, and I really enjoyed it. And Laura and I talked about that too. I think she's doing the A Course in Miracles, and I was doing the guy that wrote the Tantra book. He's doing like a Tantra Foundations course where you also like get to like meditate daily, which I never did before. I meditate occasionally. I go to the Buddhist center and stuff, but I never did it on a regular basis and like so intensely. And I noticed, and it's like it coincided with everything beginning to fall apart every day almost since the
Oh,
beginning.
fun.
The earthquake in Puerto Rico, the people moving in, you know, now there are other things happening, and plus my work getting canceled. It's like, wow, this is pretty exciting. I started doing something regularly,
That's fun.
and everything just went upside down. Although maybe, you know, that's silly to connect it because it's just a story, you know. But you could say that, you know. It's almost like I'm playing out the story. Now let's see how are you gonna meditate when this happens, or how are you gonna
Yeah.
stick with the spiritual truths when this is happening.
Yeah. And what about this? How are you on a spiritual path if you're doing this?
Yeah, or when this is happening to you now.
Yeah. It's really fun.
Yeah, it is fun, I guess.
You can. It is. It's even fun that you can make yourself out to be not having fun. That's like it's amazing that your mind has that kind of power.
Yeah, lots of that.
And you can probably get other people to agree with you that you're not having fun.
Oh yeah, and I have people around me that are not having fun.
And there's people around you not having fun. Yeah. Exactly. It's almost like you're not allowed to have fun. And these people around you are a reflection of your own mind. It's like you taught them how to not have fun. So now you can teach them how to have
I
fun.
suck. I taught them that.
Yeah, see where you go to? You go to the past immediately. See,
Right.
it's like there's nothing, there's all there is this moment and what you're teaching in this moment. Whatever you're teaching, you're learning. Your mind is learning. The mind is projecting everyone and everything into your field of experience is learning.
Okay, I got one. My
You do.
my aunt called today.
Yes.
Um, she's a Lutheran pastor, and she tells me that she couldn't believe the Pope shook hands with 100 people or something. How irresponsible of him. Because of this virus thing. And I'm just speechless. Okay, so I projected her to say that to me.
Yeah. Just so you could
So-
get that kind of experience.
So you could feel speechless.
Yeah.
I was like, because I went right to, he's not doing anything. He's not in charge of what it looks like he's doing in this illusion. But I can't say any of that.
You don't
So-
have to. You don't have to say it. Your knowing it is enough. Your witnessing and knowing it is enough. Because that's where the compassion comes in. That's where the light comes in. You just allow it to be observed. Without putting up judgment like it's over there or that person's really going through something or something. It's being projected by you for you to kind of like relate with.
Okay, so I did relate with the falseness of it all.
Yes.
And so there's a lull, I guess, when there's when after she's judged him, there's a lull in the conversation waiting for me to come back, and I got nothing because all what's going through is nothing's really happened. Even if it looks like it happened in this illusion. He had no choice. It literally just happened.
So there's an upset feeling.
Yeah.
And what she's looking for is some you could say reassurance, even though she doesn't know it, reassurance that she's okay.
That
Even though she doesn't know it. So the way you show that may not be saying it's okay, may not be that, but the way you share that it's okay is you allow it to be received in you. So you're grateful for having the experience of that, where you could have that little conversation with the ego right there. And it's like, no, that's not true. It's like, that's none of that stuff is true. So you know that no one's in danger. She's not in danger. No one's in danger. And you being there, knowing that, and just hearing that, it's like, oh, thank you for telling me that. And that's what I find myself, when people come up and tell me some kind of sad story or something really judgmental or anything, and they say that to me, they say, oh, thank you for telling me that. And if they really want something from me, what I find myself saying is something like, well, I just really don't know.
That would fit more than thank you for telling me, because she wasn't.
Did she want you to
Agree.
agree? Yeah. So it's just like, I really don't know.
Yeah. I really
I'm not smart enough to know that.
That's a really good. I could totally see that saying.
And then I laugh like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Like a motherfucker.
Even though I don't know why I say that. It's just fun. Just because it's fun to say.
That was good. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, people come to know how you are. They just come to realize, okay, that they're not playing that game with me. They don't play that game with me.
They know it's not going to fly.
Yeah, it's just not, It's like, if as soon as you know something, then you're taking a position. That's why I like to say, you don't know who you are. You don't know who you are. Don't try to know who you are, because from this perspective, and especially when you're freaking upset, you really don't know who you are. So you might as well just let yourself be taught who you are. As you're taught who you are, that's how the whole thing lightens up. The whole experience gets lighter. So allow your mind to be taught who you are. That's all. You can't, but you know, you can't let that in if you think you know. It's
Right.
like, who are you? Someone asked me that the other day. Okay, who are you? And I'm like, I got nothing.
Can't say anything that's going to be true.
Yeah. What am I going to talk about? Am I going to talk about my person? That's always changing. Okay, I'm a wife. I got 3 kids. I got a house, business, run a business. I do wisdom dialogues. You know, it's like that kind of stuff. It naturally will come out in conversation, but it's like, who are you? And I'm like, oh my gosh, got no answer for that.
Something from Alice in Wonderland or so. Who are you? Right?
Yeah. I'm like, I don't have anything for that. I don't know. I don't want to know. And not from this perspective. I want to know, but I don't want to know while I perceive a world. You know, that's like wanting the ego's knowledge. While I perceive a world of separation, a world of perception, a world where there's death and stuff like that, I am sure I don't know who I am. And I'm seeing reflections of that everywhere. And as I see reflections of that, not knowing who I am, and I'm talking about like any kind of illness, injury, sorrow, anything like that, as long as I'm having a perception of anything like that, I'm learning who I am. I'm learning about it. And it's fun. Learning is fun. Thinking you know is not fun. Thinking you know who you are while you're perceiving illusions is not fun.
It's painful.
Yeah. Yeah. So you know, when all pain is met with I don't know who I am, that's why I'm having a perception of some pain. I'm having a perception of some kind of upset. Then my mind can learn, which is the whole freaking purpose of this. It's not a guilty thing. It's just for learning.
I know who I am. I am a thought in the present moment. And then the next moment it could be a different thought, but that's all I am.
Yeah, the thought could be.
I think like I am, and that's the thought.
Okay, well, yeah. Now you're associating it with thought, but you know, there's something that knows you beyond thought. That's your guide within your mind.
But it's not an I.
Yeah, it you know, something that knows who you are, let's say, and that which knows who you are is guiding you beyond that thought of yourself, so you can see past that thought of yourself. It's like you're gonna slip by it. Gently.
Slip by the silly thought of I am, right?
Yes. Yes, you're gonna. So the guide within you is gonna show you through your willingness that you allow it. If you allow it, the guide within you will show you.
But who's there to allow it?
Well, you could say that's the decision-making aspect of the mind.
You are smart.
I'm smart?
You know, you're like, I don't know, I'm not smart enough to know that. But when you say things like that, they just sound super smart.
Oh, well, you know, that's just what we all really know underneath the bullshit nonsense that we think, you know.
They sound brilliant. What can I say?
Well, you know, I'm glad. I'm glad, and I'm very grateful for you, and I'm grateful that you listen to me and come on and watch, and I appreciate all your support. And you know, it's like, if it resonates for you to listen to me like it does for Yulia, then that's perfect. Then that's perfect. There's all kinds of stuff to listen to, as Yulia knows. There's all kinds of stuff to listen to, and just have fun with it.
10 million things out there. You
What's
can
that?
listen to 10 million things there. You can listen to podcasts nonstop.
You can listen to podcasts nonstop, and some people do.
Right.
And every time you listen, it's going to take you deeper. As long as you're not making some kind of thing out of it. Some kind of guilty thing, something that you have to do, something you're going to check off your list of things that you did for spiritual practice today.
Right.
See? And you know, when you've got your medicine, let's say, and you've got your medicine, which is constantly changing, so being open for it to change, when it feels really joyful and inspiring, and you could just wait for that. You don't have to try to come up with your own spiritual practice. It just gets presented to you. You don't have to figure out what the best one is, what the fastest one is. If you offer a little bit of willingness to see that you're worthy of having it quick, you'll find it quick. If you want to be guilty and you want it to take thousands of years, you'll take thousands of years.
No.
And you'll use the world for keeping that self-image in place.
What happened?
It's me. I'm here. I just have to find another place. My computer is, I have to plug it in.
What fun.
Yep. So I think I'm going to go into the light.
Yay. Elka said she's reading my book for the first time and it's already half highlighted. Yay.
Awesome. Привет.
I'm going to be speaking at a church for my first time. Well, not my first time ever. When I was a kid, I would. But I'm going to be speaking at a church around here.
Really? How'd that come about?
They gave me a slot there. It's called Center for Spiritual Living. Have you ever heard of that kind of church?
No.
So there, I was told by the Reverend that it's based on the science of mind.
Oh, yep.
And then she's
Wow.
watching my videos and she thinks I'm right along the lines of that.
That's pretty amazing.
She said, do you know what science of mind means? I said, well, I'm not sure exactly what you are meaning by it, but to me it sounds really good. And then I laughed hysterically.
And she must have been, that's cool.
Yeah, I think it's really fun. Yeah, they pay me and everything. Isn't that funny?
Nice.
I wasn't even expecting that.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's very cool.
that's fun, huh? There's like 100 people that go there too.
Now, will any of your Wisdom Dialogues people go there?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, definitely, because one of them, Casey, she's the one who got me in there.
Oh.
She goes to that church. Yeah. And she goes to that church on Sundays, and she's the one who she said, hey, I think you should have this girl come in and do some stuff.
Nice.
Isn't that fun?
That is fun. And you don't even have to prepare anything. It's just gonna, that's the best part of
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Just
And
flow.
tonight I'm harping.
Oh. Did you get your big one back yet?
Yes, I got it back today.
Did today. Yay.
Yeah.
So will you be taking, now you have a decision to make.
I can sing. That's funny. I will be taking my small harpsichord harp because it's contact improv, and last time people were contacting me while I had the harps. So I want to be able to stand up and get some contact going with them.
What's contact mean?
I want to do that too. Contact dance.
Yeah, it's contact dance. So it's called Cosmic Contact, and I'll be there tonight for people who are local. I'll be there tonight at Kalani. It's 6 p.m. for Cosmic Contact. I'll be playing the harp.
I need that.
With the group where I dance with the group a little bit, and then I go to the harp, and then, you know, people still come and contact me while I'm playing the harp.
This is what I need. I need that now. I need like trance dance or something, or contact dance.
Oh, you don't need anything.
Oh. But I want to.
Yeah, it just see that sense. See how the tone is and everything.
Aww.
So that's like part of what you're just watching. Yeah, just like like for me, I'll just notice that. I'll say stuff like that sometimes. It'll just come out of my mouth, and sometimes my friends will go, oh yeah, and I'm like, oh yeah, of course. But sometimes I'll be with people that wouldn't even know the difference anyways. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, and I just won't even say anything about it. I'll just notice it, and that's all. You just notice.
I do that a lot, having to notice things, yes, and not saying anything about it, yes.
Yeah.
I do it all day long.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun because as you notice, you get the effect of whatever you're believing that's making you express like that. Notice how you're expressing.
Yeah.
And get the feeling effect about whatever it is that you're believing, and you know, you see how it feels. It's really simple, you know. It's just you see how that feels. To think like that, to express like that, see how it feels. It's got a certain tone, even the tone of the voice, there's a feeling to it. It's really fun. And then you start to see more and more, you start to have the experience that this is all energy at play. This is all just energy at play. So even what other people say to you, whenever other people say to you, you know, it's like, oh, how does that feel to hear that? Because you're projecting it. It's coming out of a belief.
Right. It's like when you were a baby and you didn't understand the language. Were they saying anything?
Yeah. No one's really saying anything.
Is anybody saying anything?
No one's really saying anything.
Did it mean anything? Did it project a feeling? You know, what's a feeling? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and we're projecting all the words that the other people say to us.
Right, just like when somebody speaks in a foreign language to you now, does that mean anything?
Yeah, when I was in the warm ponds and two naked people came in the warm pond, and then another person started yelling at the naked well, not really yelling, but kind of like in a condemning way to the naked people, because she didn't want them to be naked. The naked people didn't speak English.
Oh, great. Yes, that helps a lot.
I just smiled a bunch.
Perfect.
Yep.
And then someone else translated to them that she'd like she'd like them to put their clothes on, and they just stayed smiling the whole time. You know, it's like, oh, thank you. You'd like me to put my clothes on. Thanks for letting me know. I'll put them on now.
Right. And it's like so funny. My dad is, you know, learning English, and he like gets angry at English because it's stupid, you know, like, what is this thing? This is weird, you know, like, why would you say it this way or that way? It just doesn't make any sense. It just makes you see how relative, you know, old meaning is. Because even if you speak a different language, it could be completely different. You could have completely different concepts.
Yes, you're always interpreting it from your own self-beliefs. So everyone's interpreting everything that everyone else says from the filter of their self-belief. And everyone that you have a perception of is holding on to self-belief. And that's why, you know, as these things come up, when you have a sense, like an unpleasant sense about them, that's you kind of dancing with their self-belief. It's like your self-belief dancing with your self-belief, but it's entirely your projection, what you perceive. Kind of like a play of energy. That's why it's like we heal together. Your forgiveness of them for being like they are as you made them up. See how the forgiveness is just automatic because it's like, oh, they didn't do anything. It's just, of course.
Yeah, but it's but it's also not just forgiveness when you think somebody did something not bad, but it's also like when you saw someone as a victim, how realizing that's wrong too.
Well, yeah, that's
It's hard for me. And I feel like there's like some sort of sense of guilt in that. Like we're all collectively somehow guilty that we allow people to be victims or some sort of thought like that, you know?
Well, we're projecting guilt. There's nothing
Right.
guilty about it. There's nothing guilty about projecting guilt. We're projecting guilt out of fear.
Because we can't help it too.
Yeah, we don't know. It's what we don't know that we're taking as true about ourselves. So the dream as it plays out with these opposites and with the scale of feelings that we, feeling the body sense and this using this body as an instrument again, using this body sense to see whenever we're in conflict with joy, whenever we're in conflict with peace. To recognize whenever we're in any kind of conflict with peace and notice how that feels. And then if you're just willing to see what it does to you, this is how you see, you seeing what it's doing to you, what it's making of you, then you'll stop giving it power automatically. You're like applying reason to it. See? But it's as long as there's a laziness, as if you're seeing a laziness, like one of my friends was asking me, I want to listen to you because she was in person. I want to listen to you, but then I just find my body going over to the refrigerator and getting food. And then I'm not, and then I feel bad because I'm not listening to you. And it's like, that's kind of like it's kind of like a lazy ego, it's kind of like, it's kind of like not wanting to get the message. That's why the mind will wander, not wanting to get the message. So your awareness of the mind's wandering, that allows it to be played out in your presence. You're like, you're just there for that. If that's what's playing out, I'm there for that. You're there for whatever it is. You're feeling what it's like. You're sensing what it's like to believe like this. And just watching that play out without resistance. It's your awareness of it. Remember, it's seeing. We talked about that years ago, Lori, where we were both really on that one where it's all we have is seeing, it's not like we have to do anything. We just only have to see anything. And that seeing takes a willingness to see. See, so there's an alertness there. And then there's this laziness that takes over. So watch the laziness. It's not you getting lazy. It's not that you have to pull yourself out of laziness. You're not capable of doing that. It's for you to see the lazy. Watch it. You can't really be lazy in the world. I'm using the word lazy in a way like you're not willing to see. You're going into dream. You could be really being lazy while you're making yourself adhere to this schedule of a really packed full schedule. You could also be being very lazy with regard to looking at what you're making of yourself, watching what you're making of yourself, because you're entertaining thoughts, you're relating with thoughts every single moment. That's really what you're doing, and that's really what's filling it up. You're relating, you're like, you're as consciousness, remember, relating with thought. So in that relating with thought from moment to moment, you're making yourself into something in a dream. And what I'm saying is, not try to make yourself into something better. Just stop trying to make yourself into anything, because you are way beyond that. You don't have to do that. And you're not good at it. You know how you know you're not good at it? Because it leads to suffering.
Feels awful.
It feels awful. Yes. It's like, let yourself. There was one that I did. I put the title for it. It was like, don't try to create yourself. You're already created. You're already created perfect. So, and don't try to create yourself. Yes, let the fantasy go. I am not seeing all of the Facebook comments. Hold on just a second while I expand this one. Let me see. There we go. Now I can see them. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I love you. Back to Zoom. Zoom like that and zoom like that. No? Oh, I know what I did with it. I moved it down there. Yay, everyone. So it was interesting to me, that science of mind. And thank you, Bob Shine, for Ernest Holmes. Ernest Holmes does science of mind. I don't know who that dude is, but who knows? Maybe I'll look that up. But it seems like it is very scientific. I was talking about how when almost a couple years ago, when the lava came, Leah, when the lava came and my house was covered by lava, my house was recently covered by lava. I was like, I feel so excited. I feel like a mind scientist right now. I feel like a mind scientist. They have those volcanologists that go out and look at all the volcano, and they measure it and everything like that. I felt like a mind scientist, because it was like all this upset would come up. What's that? It's called a psychologist? Yes. My son just said it's called a psychologist. Thanks, Blaze. Okay. But I can't say that, I don't think, in the United States without them wanting me to get a license and shit. Isn't that right?
No, probably not, right?
Yeah. So I'm just gonna say
they got their own story in the psychology
I'm engaged
going on.
in science of mind.
There's conscious, there's the subconscious, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, true. And all that stuff is, still on the level of, I think, psychology. That's like the psychology that they do. I think a lot of it is on the level of the illusion, anyways.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm just gonna say science.
Because you can make something better in the illusion with the help of psychology, apparently.
Yeah. Because you're watching how it's reacting. You're watching how the mind is reacting to things. See, noticing how the mind is reacting to the things that seem to be that seem to be going on. It really shows you. It teaches you that the mind is reacting to your own self-beliefs, your held self-beliefs. That's what it's reacting to. It's not reacting to anything in the world. You get shown that if you're willing to, and that you are completely, you're completely the one with all the power, the one who can make a decision right now. You decide whether these thoughts are meaningful to you. So you make them meaningful, and you kind of like tense up around them, like tighten up around them. So in making them meaningful, then there's this suffering that goes with it, like this not good enough, or needing to, and you see it come up in a variety of ways. Just be very watchful. Like you see it come up in a variety of ways. Even, when Yulia was talking about how she needs to go to dance, she heard about this cosmic contact and she needs to go to dance. And, you watch how the energy plays. You start to sense the energy of it, and when you notice it, it's not it has no karma. It has no karma. When you don't notice it and it just passes without your notice, it just passes on without your notice, then it makes more illusions like that. But with your noticing it, you're seeing through it. And with your noticing it, even if the other person doesn't want to know about it, not everyone wants to know about their delusional thoughts that are making them all upset. Not everyone wants to know about that.
But
They
doesn't-
don't have to. They
Yeah.
don't have to know about it. Because just you're noticing it for what it is and forgiving them because they didn't do anything, right? You forgive them for what they didn't even do, because that's like true forgiveness. They didn't do it. You did it. You projected it. It's also forgiveness when you're saying you're feeling sorry for them. That also is something to forgive, because you're making them out as they are not. Really, you're projecting as if, you're teaching your mind. That's what projecting is. You're teaching your mind something about who you are when you feel sorry for someone. See?
I just learned that. You teach your mind you can be a victim, or so there can be a victim.
Fun. Yeah, it's like you hear it a bunch of times, but then you really learn it. It's like you get it. It's like you get it on a level where you're just like, oh, okay, oh, all right. Now you're watching with a different energy. Now you're watching with a different vibration. And you're able to see through it more and more as you go.
Yeah, I was just thinking it's like, smart to look at people who do bad things as it victims of their past or of conditioning, like they didn't do it, they suffered, that's why they're like this. But
Yes,
that isn't true either.
that's right.
Victims either.
That's right. That is not true. Exactly. It's just teaching your own mind. And they are not angry. No one's angry. It's like they're just kidding.
They're just kidding. I remember that one too.
They're just kidding for you, because that's the same as you're projecting it. That's what I'm saying. You're not seeing them clearly. They're making it up with you, for you. So it's like they're not like that. They're not the way you see them. Isn't that great?
No
Wow,
one.
so wild.
is
So
seeing-
true and so wild.
The responsibility keeps on growing until you're just responsible for all of it because you can take it.
Hey, and then like all these people that like we think don't see something right, like don't react to something right because they don't understand. That's not real either. They're not
That's right.
too. There
That's
isn't
right.
anybody who doesn't get it. Like there's never anybody that doesn't get it that the Pope is not doing anything. And that was just kind of struck me when Lori was talking about. And same thing for me in my experience. It's just easier to see when it happens to other people. Lori
Right.
is like a great example.
Good.
When it's in my own experience, it's like but
Right? Oh my
So
goodness.
does anyone else like to talk with me?
This we're later. We're an hour later now again.
Oh, you guys changed your time? I'm glad I'm
which
not
is
paying
great
attention
for
to that.
me. Great for me. I'm glad. And now I'll be able to make it.
Yay.
But I start yawning about this when we're going into the second hour this late.
You're just kidding.
Yeah. You're just kidding.
I'm just kidding. Oh,
It's okay, however it needs to go. If you need to go and go to sleep, that's perfect. I'm sure you've heard enough. And there
Oh my God, I'm forgetting yawn too. That's so, I'm so, the power of suggestion.
Yay. And I'm going to play the harp.
yay! And
That
enjoy
is so cool.
your church thing too.
Yeah, that's coming up on Mother's Day, actually. It's not until
Oh, not till May. Okay,
yeah.
Mhm.
It's just so fun.
cool.
Yes. Yay, everyone. And check out miraclebotanicals.com. We've got the best essential oils. Also, hopejohnson.org. It's got access to the podcast and other stuff like my book that you might like. And also, if you would like to donate, if you're guided to donate, please do so at hopejohnson.org/donate. Your donations go toward these Zoom meetings and the podcast stations, and also this other station now, whatever I'm using called Restream, that's helping me to go to Facebook and YouTube live at the same time while we have Zoom. Isn't that fun?
Mhm.
So thank you.
Wow.
Thank you for your support. I appreciate you so, so much.
Thank you, Hope.
Thank you, Hope.
Oh, I love you.
We love you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Aloha and a hui ho.